like when you're chomping at the bit to go hang out with your friends at the fucking park, like, you know, it was like all of a sudden it was like we have to. It's like,
hold on, you're either all splitting one beer, or you got some weed or some cigarettes.
Yeah, I know. Something's going on,
or there's boys there.
Welcome to the Chip and Cern Show, the podcast about everything and nothing at the same time. They were possibly separated at birth, only to be rejoined to create the sweet sounds that will caress your deepest cochlea. The show is real, random, rant-filled, and ruthless. Please be warned that the show may hurt your feelings, offend your grandma, and even kick your dead dog in the balls. So get ready, and let's get this shit started.
This shit has started. I'm Chip.
I'm Cern.
And you are listening to the Chip and Cern Show.
Once again, or for the very first time.
Yes. So, you know, we're doing the thing. We're doing the podcast thing.
This is the life blog.
Every time. And this happened the other time, too. Chip and Cern, we get a little bit, you know, this is for the Cerny Slits and the Chipmunks here, for the behind the scenes, the folks that really care. We got the catch up about it. You know, we got to catch up. How's the week going? What do you think about the World Series? Blah, blah, blah. And then again, we're kind of getting into it. And I'm like, whoa, Cern, is this the pod right now? Because if this is the pod, we
got to stop.
We got to hit record. We got to hit record, and then we can pick up this conversation. But I forgot we have, we've been requested to do some K-pop reaction similar to the WAP
This is true.
reaction.
We actually were emailed, too.
I was going to inquire if you thought that was legit, or if you thought that was, but that person also sent us an Instagram message too or something. I think it was the same thing.
They were probably following the directions specifically. Like,
right.
You reach out to us on chipandcern@gmail.com, and then like Instagram or you know Facebook.
Yeah.
So they were trying to make sure that we got it.
I did exactly what they wanted, and then they fucking ignored it. So, I mean. He's probably
those lions.
I know.
Those lions, son of
he's
bitches.
Probably, you know, rightfully a little bit upset. I feel like we need to address it now.
We do.
But
you're right.
I'm trying to log into the Instagram account because I got a new phone, Cerny. I got the iPhone 12.
Oh,
the new.
I got a new phone as well.
You know what? You know how I knew that is because. Our podcast account got the Google letter like you've logged into a Samsung Note 12 or whatever it is.
Yeah, the Galaxy S20 Plus.
Wow, how did this come about?
And then you got the case.
Look at those fucking cameras. Wow, look at that case. I just have the the navy one.
Well, I sent some out to Carved so they can.
Oh, I did see that. Yeah.
They can talk to you.
Let me see.
They have some pretty sweet. They have some like different colors. You can do like black and white, purple, blue.
You make your own mix.
So they actually have like, you know, this is a 1-on-1. So they have like a selection to pick. Like this is it because it's like they basically I've seen like they make like they like have wood and they put kind of like pour it into a block and they cut it and whatever they cut is you can't really duplicate it because this is wood.
Interesting.
Like or whatever, so.
Okay, I got into our email. It's from a fan named Steve. I won't give his last name out. I'm not totally sure if he's cool with that or not. Steve. But he sent us a video, like a music video called Maine, like the state, Maine 2020.
No, I listened to it, yes.
So, did you listen to it?
Well, yes, because I was like, nervously, I was like, is this a fake thing?
Is this a Trojan horse virus, or is this actually what it is? So what did you think?
So I think it's actually like someone you have to like listen to and like I assume he loved like the WAP like of us like listening to it and pausing
the reaction.
Yes.
Okay. And then so he wanted our reaction to that.
I believe so. Like at least like listening.
All right, to here. Hey guys, very cool. Maybe some pod play.
It's TV off. My text my Dana. It's 2-1 Dodgers.
Oh no, that's not good.
No. A time of recording where Game 6 of the World Series is going on. So
yeah, so you get an insight into our process is the timeline is a little shorter than previous. What we used to do back in the day, we one time for recording, I would drive to Cerny's house, and then the next time he would drive to mine. Although Cerny had been driving to mine more often because my kid was younger, essentially.
Yes, that's true.
But then we would record like 2 or 3 episodes, and then that was like what we would release over the next couple of weeks. So I do feel now we can be a little bit more topical.
It's a little fresher, yes.
It's a little fresher. But yeah, so as you might have remembered, a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago, 2 months, 3 months ago at this point, I got back into the Pokemon Go game. And I saw, Cerny, I will say, your reception at first was lukewarm at best.
Yes, I was like, okay. Pokemon, I haven't looked at it in a while.
And I kind of jumped in and I was playing it a lot. And I was enjoying it. But then I started kind of getting the comments from my wife like, oh, what's on your phone? Like, we'd be out somewhere. And when you got kids that are little, head on a swivel, right? You can't like be distracted, basically. So I caught that hint. And then I thought, you know what? I should just, before it gets any further, I got to just cut it off. I got to stop.
So you said, I was like, oh, okay. So I put it back up.
Yeah.
And
I also thought that my daughter would get into it because they have the cool AR where you could like project a Pokemon like in your world in the augmented reality camera. So my daughter she would like take pictures next to the Pokemon because I would have her do that and show her, and she thought it was really cool. Which it is kind of cool.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
And I thought she was going to get excited about, oh, let's go and catch this one and try to get into it, but that never really took.
So after I installed it and like you talked about it, our good buddy Joe, he texts me on a sidebar, said, hey, do you still play Pokemon? I said, actually, Chipper just told me to get back into it. He's like, be my friend. I need you to be friend. Dude, they got so much more shit you can fucking game. And I was like, okay. So he sent me his
so you had 2 confirmation points of data.
Exactly.
And
then I was like, okay, well, now I'm in. So I started like playing. I was like, oh, they do have more shit. You can like battle Team Rocket, and they have like a blip above your head. You can like battle them as
And you don't have to walk around to play the game anymore.
No.
Like previously, if you were just sitting at your house, it wasn't fun because all you could do was go through and rename your Pokemon or send them to like Professor fucking Walnut or whatever the fuck his name is.
Oak or whatever.
Oak, there you go. I was like, I know he's a tree, but
Professor Maple.
Professor Manzanita, Redwood. Now, for the listeners that don't know, Joe was, when Pokemon Go dropped 2016 or whenever that was, and it instantly, that was the fucking craziest. Remember how crazy that was?
The last Pokemon I had caught, I looked it up because it shows you.
Yeah.
It was 2018, like September of 2018.
Wow. And I think you were probably playing for longer than I was at that point, I think. I don't remember.
Yeah, because now
because you had the kids were into it.
So then that also helps because I was like, well, this may have fizzled out, but now like Jeffrey's like, because he heard like he's like, oh, Pokemon, let me play. Like he downloaded, he got all his stuff back. He's like, we could trade, so we're like trading like. Of course, he's cherry picking like fucking Charizard and Venusaur. Like,
do they decline?
He's going after the goods.
How does the trades work?
So
can you only trade with your friends, or you can just like if you were
only trade with your friends? I
okay.
think. But then it's like you can only have one trade a day. I didn't know this till James came over and started trading. So
your brother's in it still. Did he ever get out of the game?
He said he took a couple months off. Months.
Okay. So he's
he's like, you're only good for one, like lucky or whatever trade a day. Like if you can trade something like that, the other person doesn't have. Like I have a Charizard, but Jeffrey doesn't have a Charizard.
Okay.
We're good for one of those trades a day, and then we gotta wait till we could trade like other shit that we both have, but we can't trade like the good shit.
Interesting. Okay, so there is some thing of like
like the fantasy player like offload where like you're out of it,
you're
so
just shelling
offload all
the talent
stars.
all the talents out. Yeah, you're like the Marlins after they win a World Series, just dumping talent.
Everything must go fire sale.
Yeah, I was wondering what they were going to do because I envisioned the scenario of a kid around school.
Stardust.
Yeah.
It's expensive when you today, Jeffrey was going through my phone. I was letting him go through it, he's like foaming at the mouth, like rabies of all the, it's like, you have 4 labrases. And I was like, what the hell is that?
Yeah.
He like showed me like, oh yeah,
that big whale looking thing.
He's like, can I have one? I said, fuck, you can have 2. If I have 4.
Now I noticed when you battle other Pokemon, like before, if it was a fire versus a water, where it's obvious, it wasn't that drastic of like the water would put the fire out. Like, if it was quote unquote more realistic. But now I notice they really turn that up and it's really accurate for that.
And it's like, so like when we're like battling, it's kind of weird. Like we'll battle, like Jerry's like, what do I need to do? It's like, we need Rain Man of Pokemon. James needs to be here because like there's like so many different types.
He knows
like,
every matchup.
Well, he's dark. I'm like, he's a dark Pokemon. I was like, well, I don't know.
What's a dark Pokemon? Yeah. I was so out of my element. I just let whatever the automated suggestion.
Yeah.
I was like, I'll go with that. I'll fuck with that and see how it goes.
So like James used to do like raids with me. Like he would like have 2 phones.
Right,
He would like raid.
He had 2 phones.
So, he had like his actual phone. Like he had like the phone that he had paid off, but he had like, so he like hotspotted it and like, so he could raid. Dude, I have all these like legendary Pokemon.
Right.
But I have no idea. Like I was like,
how'd you even get those? Oh, because he would sign into your account, right?
Yeah.
He was doing that.
That was the whole like getting like.
Remember
the ban was real.
Yeah, it used to be that certain Pokemon were only available on certain continents. Like you couldn't get XYZ because it was only in Asia. And then I went to like the Caribbean, and they like that was technically South America or something. So there was this legend Pokemon that I was like, "Give me your fucking logins! I'm getting it! It's right here!" You know, I was so excited. Yeah. But now I could just trade those to you if I had a bunch.
Oh, you could. And they had like some event that's just recently where like, this is a big Pokemon fan I am. I can't remember the fucking thing's name. The duck with the
Psyduck?
With the like
Farfetch'd.
No, Farfetch'd. They had a whole thing where it was like Farfetch'd.
Everywhere you look, there's like 10.
Yeah, I had like 200 candies of Farfetch'd.
It's and like a flash mob of this one Pokemon, essentially.
Yeah, and like you had like so that on this one you had to like to evolve him. He had to be a walking buddy, and you had to have 10 excellent throws. Damn. I failed. I failed miserably. Now Joe and James, I got Joe.
They know where to spin it.
Like I got a text from Joe like maybe like 20 minutes after I told him easy money, and I was like, fuck you.
I will say, Joe, when he gets into something, he takes it super seriously.
And he was trying to text me the other day. He's like, "When are you going to do a 5-star raid?" I was like, I don't know.
He's looking up your stats to fucking clown on you. Sounds like.
Well, no, he was like, because he was trying to do one too. Like you need like a few people.
Oh, and they have the remote raids now too. So
dude,
that's
genius.
The cool thing.
That's genius.
That is the fucking greatest thing. So that way, me, Cerny, and Joe, and whoever from it doesn't matter where you're from, you could go on and all play the same game essentially and go take down the big boss. Now, Cerny, I was on Reddit, and because some of these challenges are like, give 10 gifts this week. So there's all these posts that you just drop your friend code. And I woke up in the morning, I had like 42 friend requests.
Oh, no.
That I'm just constantly, it was too much work to like gift everything, open everything, re-gift. Oh, my bag's full. Oh, I'm going to do this. It was like, this is too much. I need to start cutting some of these friends loose. I need like
a beautiful mind.
It was too much. Fucking numbers are spinning all over the place. So how, if you had to rate your playing time compared to when we were really into it several years ago, like what would you call that? Like,
so it's down from when we played several years ago. We were like, I was like, we were
definitely in it.
Like now, actually, it's more of like Jeffrey is like, so he's like getting into it.
He's into it. Okay.
So he's like, so when we go on a walk, like he's like, can we go on a walk? Because the temperature's nice now. It's fall.
Yes.
So I'll sign it on my phone.
Okay.
He's like, I'll bring my tablet. I was like, don't bring a big fucking tablet when you're walking. I mean, we're the worst parents. Yeah, drop this shit, break it, whatever.
I know.
So he has like my phone, and he's catching Pokemon. And he's like showing me.
Right. Oh,
look every morning.
One. Yeah.
Every morning he gets up at like 7:30. That's so roughly his wake up. So usually 7:45 he comes in. He's like, let's see what's because we live on a golf course, so we have like a fair amount of Pokemon around us. He's like, let's see what's around us and let's battle and let's can we make a trade?
Wants to go. So nice.
It's more of like he gets super pumped, so I'm like, oh yeah, sure.
Yeah, that's cool. I was getting to the point already after playing for like a week and a half that I'd be like, okay, who wants to go for a walk? Like, I'll take the kids for a walk and we're going to the park and I'm like just walking around fucking trying to get my stuff up, before I go to bed, let me make sure everything's topped up and ready to go for the night, like doing this shit. I'm like, this is too much. I don't have fucking time for this. Not this stuff anymore.
It does get you like, okay, let me make sure. We're like the other day, I was like, yeah, we were walking for how long? And you forgot to put your eggs on? He's like, oh yeah. I was like, come on, man.
That's rookie move. That's a rookie move.
I'm sorry. I was like, that's not me.
They make the reason why they make it feel like you're gonna miss out on progress if you don't play it every single fucking day.
Yeah. Oh yeah, with the whole the
streaks.
Streaks, yeah.
Yeah.
The catching Pokemon streaks, the swiping Pokestop streaks,
throwing great throws and all sorts. I've noticed there used to be my move was just like immediately when it popped up, I would just throw a thing and it would usually catch it. But they've like changed all the algorithms and shit. So they try to trick you now and stuff. But damn, you're making me think about getting back into it, Cern.
You have a gift waiting for you. From me.
I feel a relapse coming on. That's pretty funny. Yeah. Well, I need to thin the herd a little bit, but I guess I could be friends with Joe and stuff. Now, when you battle, are you getting smoked, or are your Pokemon big enough? Because when we got out of it, we were at the height of the game. There was no one higher than us. I mean, we weren't level 40 or whatever, but like we weren't gonna lose any. It was kind of not very fun because it was everything you would win,
So they have like leagues. So like level 1 league.
Oh, that's right.
I blew through it. I'm like, this is easy.
Yeah.
Level 2, no problem.
3?
Level 3.
Uh-oh. A little bit higher competition level.
Like playing against people. So it's like.
Oh right.
And they have like this whole they have like weird things like the Halloween League where it's like fucking Ghost and Dark Pokemon
multipliers or something.
Like can't even be above 1500 CP or whatever it is. So you have to like pick from what you got, and then like they have some shit, and you're like, well, you have to like do like the whole. That's the whole strategy where you have to like know like, okay, this person has like a bug Pokemon, so I got to do like which I don't fucking know.
We literally were so old. We need like one of those quarterback sleeves where we just flip it up.
Exactly.
Yeah,
okay.
Or like in the outfield when like the outfielder takes his hat off to look at like, okay, are we shifting this at bat or next at bat?
I noticed that a lot this like World Series, this whole playoffs where
everyone's
pull,
got
like,
a
card
fucking
in the back pocket. I'm like, what the hell?
Well, the first time I saw it was a couple of years ago. I was like, I think that dude just looked at his phone. Like I think in center field,
he was checking his Instagram right now, baby.
He was looking at some fucking cougars on Instagram or something. But yeah,
someone sliding his DM.
They do get the fuck. Where am I going with this? Back to Pokemon. Oh, the rating. How you can tell how good your Pokemon is. Remember before there was that other app you would have to screenshot and then upload it? That was so fucking annoying. And then you change the name. Charizard 82, like what percentage it was.
Yep.
Now you just look it up and you just know.
Yeah. They actually, the appraisal, have you done the appraisal on the new one?
Yeah. It tells
way
you,
better. Like,
oh, dude.
Like it's like, it tells
Strength,
you like straight
3
up, like,
stars.
3-star, 2-star, 1-star, whatever.
Defense, 1 star. Yeah.
No star.
And then they will tell you if you have like a shiny Pokemon now. It's not like a guessing game.
A lucky Pokemon, yeah. It used to be a guess. Like you'd have to you do
like, I think it looks different.
Remember, like you would have to do like you would have to like put it on that other like program, but the other program wasn't like even legal either. So if you got caught with that too, you could be banned.
Exactly.
I'm just trying to see my Pokemon scooter now. What the fuck you banning me for?
I know there was all the bans.
Oh,
because people started.
They were trigger happy.
Yeah.
Chip and Cern. We
got put in the penalty. We had a couple penalty minutes.
Time in the band in the penalty box.
Because we had each other's logins. So if there was, we kind of had a rule that, okay, because Cern and I were both #Team Instinct. Still are. Yes. I think you could change that now, right?
I have no idea.
It doesn't matter. I'm not doing it. I already got it tattooed. So if there's an open gym, or you just took down a gym and you want to get Cerny some free coins, you would just sign in real quick and fucking throw his best Pokemon in there. But then if Cerny was signed in Folsom and I signed in San Francisco, like within a minute from each other, they knew something was up.
You were fucking, that's it. Or if it was like, here's a Pokemon that showed up and it was like rare. Remember? That was like, holy shit, I can't ask for permission. I'm just going to guess for it. I'm going for it. Yeah.
We don't have time for permission, Cerny.
I'm signing in. If he gets banned, then that is what it is. But we got to go for it.
What it is, but you got to show.
Mary.
Remember the unknowns? How they would spell? That was the big one to get.
So there is another. James just told me you don't have Verizon, but there's like a Verizon like event day. Actually, I had to get a ticket for it. Yeah, I had to get a ticket for it.
Like you bought it with coins?
Like a whole bunch of shit's coming up for Verizon customers only.
So now I got to get a new SIM card to play with you?
Basically.
Cerny, can you add me on your family plan? Just write it off. It'll be an expense.
Oh, yeah. I'll put it on there. I
it's
actually like to do one for Jeffrey. Like, Jeffrey? Dude, we're gaming, bro, but because it's like...
Have him bring his tablet.
That's what I said. A hotspot, he gets on. So, like, the kids nowadays, if you don't know, bro, that's like the...
Oh, okay. That's
or brah.
Brah.
Come on, brah. I always hear that all the time. Brah. This is the best Pokemon in the game. Like, so I always go, all right, brah. You know, but then like you start getting to have like, brah.
Yeah. I was getting. Now my daughter just turned 5, and I was getting an eye roll. I got some eye rolls today, and I was like, could we just not start this right now at 5? Could we wait? Could I get like to 12 or something?
No,
it's like, no, it's coming for the next fucking 18, 12 something years. It's just here. It's just, I'm going to have to deal with it.
So Jeffrey was Fortniting and he's playing with one of his friends.
Okay.
And I was outside and I came in and I was like, brah, what are you playing? He's like, Fortnite. I was like,
say hi.
That's scrub, brah. Right. And I got the biggest like eye roll. I was like, yeah, my friends can hear you. I was like, so? He's like, don't embarrass me. I was like,
oh my God.
What? Fuck you. I'll embarrass you if I want.
Embarrass you? You ever seen a grown man's dick?
Oh my God. You wait till you bring somebody home.
Yeah.
Then embarrassment will set in. Don't worry.
I don't even know what's going to happen when the first time that is, or when Charlie or my daughter or son brings a friend over and I'm like, oh, you want to hang you a minute? And they're like, oh, we're just going to go play in the room. Just don't come in. It's
hey, how you doing? Oh, okay. Yeah.
I'm like, oh shit.
Dude, I've done so many jokes. Like, so yes, last weekend, Melanie was in the car, picked up our friends and they're like meeting a bunch of people.
These are like 14-year-olds, right? Or something?
Yeah, 15.
Okay, 15.
So they're like, same thing.
Yeah.
So then.
Freshmen.
So they're in the car So actually, just meeting some friends. Angie, like she like did like this only Angie.
Just
Allie,
rattle them off.
Megan,
Okay,
and me.
Well, hold on. I gotta stop you. Who is in control of the radio?
Oh, me. Okay. I'm driving.
That's okay.
I'm driving
that's
the
my
bus.
Thing too. Yeah.
No, but it's like she runs through the whole thing, and I was like, okay, who else is going? She's like, I told you. I was like, I was your age at once. Which boys are going?
She just hit you like, with the girl.
I don't know. I said, okay, I'll tell you what.
Now, was she?
You leave it up to mom. I said, you leave it up to mom. But if you don't spill the beans, I'll embarrass the shit out of you. She's like, I don't care. I was like, okay. You don't care until
it's happening.
Until the time comes, until you figure out the barrel.
Oh, so it could be coming at any time. She doesn't know.
Yeah, so you don't know. I could show up.
Oh my god! You could pick him up without your shirt on or something like that.
Oh yeah, I would do something fucking crazy.
Or you need like a good fart.
Oh yeah,
in the car. So
like, well, I don't. I said,
where were they going?
I know. Yeah, I said you don't have to tell me, but I know.
Right. Was she surprised that you were sort of onto the game?
Oh yeah, it was like mind was blown. Like what the hell? He can read my mind. I was like, yeah,
because you know that some of the other people mentioned have boyfriends or they're more into boys than other girls.
When you're chomping at the bit to go hang out with your friends at the fucking park, like it was like all of a sudden it was like we have to. It's like.
Hold on. You're either all splitting one beer or you got some weed or some cigarettes.
Yeah, I know. Something's
going on or there's boys there. Which is hilarious, Cerny. I wonder when we obtained that can of chewing tobacco. What were we, 15? We were 15.
Yeah.
And
we walked to the park.
Our friend Tony, Yaunt, as he's known in some circles, he had more older friends than us. Or he had friends that had bigger siblings or older siblings. So, like, getting everyone, it was Cern, me, Chip, Joe, Tony, and I don't think Dana is. I don't think Dana was there.
He wasn't there for this.
Okay. We all knew that we wanted to try dip, like Skull, Copenhagen, one of these things. So we were like, this is so great. We need to order this or find out how to obtain this. And so it came up that Tony could get it for us, but it was like I remember it taking like a week to get it, right? Like it wasn't a quick like, we told him at the beginning of school and then by the end of school
this
we had
took some planning.
Right. It was like planning. And then once we got it, I mean, I was so nervous. It would have been like if like you pulled up at a stop sign and some guy just opened your trunk and threw a dead body and like 20 kilos of coke back there, and you have to drive like to the police department. Like that's how nervous I was because I thought, who knows what's going to happen, you know? But yeah, we all walked to the park.
You're right. I was like sweating it because it was like I was always like the room like you could get sick.
Oh, right. Because the only data point we had was Sandlot, the movie. And they did the same. That's right. They did the same thing. Big Chief, which was actually like Red Man, kind of. Yes. But then they all took a big plug and were chewing it, which is a different kind. It wasn't dip that we had. But anyway, and then they went on a roller coaster and they all threw up. So everyone's really worried. Or you would hear these stories about, oh yeah, my brother tried that on the football team and he blew chunks, and we're like, oh fuck, we're super nervous and all this sort of stuff.
It wasn't even that bad.
No, I remember getting super fucking dizzy though.
Oh yeah, it was,
like we were buzzing.
I remember getting the spins, like we were buzzed. I remember yacht rapping in bubble gum.
And I mean, we're talking. We took the fucking
smallest pinch,
the smallest little pinch. I don't even know. I wouldn't even say it was as big as a penny. It was like half of a penny, and then we're like, stretching our lips out,
sprinkling on
our tongue. Like, yeah. Like it's like how you would finish some salt if you were making a fancy dish, a little finishing salt. That was pretty much our first experience.
We basically salt bait our fucking lower lip.
And we got on our tongue and it was burning. Do you guys feel anything? Do you guys feel anything?
Something like we had like the
didn't we bring a basketball to shoot around?
No. We had the
Red
airsoft guns.
Oh, great. Guns.
That's Joe had the airsoft gun. Remember, he's like shooting them. We had like the ATF going on right there.
Fuck, yeah, ATF. This is a sting operation. Oh my God. That was, and then I remember Red Seal, classic. I think we probably should have opted for like a long cut mint. That would have been, as an experienced man who's taken many a dip in his life.
Hindsight's always
2020.
Always like
I think a mint would have been good.
Yeah, we did like the red seals fine cut straight or whatever it was. It was like
the most hardcore shit that you could have gotten.
Like, you hold it to the light and it would shimmer with fiberglass.
Yeah, you're just like, oh fuck, and you're like, I remember Dare. It's all coming back right now. All my Dare knowledge is coming back.
Oh no, I do remember that. Like smelling it, I was like, oh.
But then, I mean, honestly, I already knew I was going to dip before that. So it was like this. I mean, it's just happening now. I already knew it was going to happen. It was just inevitable.
The wheels of progress.
The wheels are in motion. So I took some of the can and then I hid it like deep in my baseball bag, like buried it under stuff.
In your shoes.
In my shoes.
You put it in the bag in your shoes. I remember
thinking my parents, for the first time ever, were going to come out and ravage my car and ransack it, like like when they caught fucking Al Capone or something, like how the FBI seized his house or something.
That wouldn't be out of the question. I mean,
that's true.
You're accused of coke and hookers.
Oh,
we were sitting in your house.
Yeah, that was odd. And then I do remember a couple times, and then kind of once you start, and you get more comfortable, and you're like, okay, bigger dip. And then, by the time it's summer, you're a full-on...
Donkey choker.
Yeah, donkey chokers. Let's buy a whole can and fit it in our mouth. And you go to Nevada, and that's where your mind really gets blown because there's no crazy tobacco tax over there.
Remember?
Oh, Georgia?
Like that cherry one?
Oh, my God. It tastes like cough syrup, right?
Yeah, but it was like...
That would be good, actually.
Like, that was the one, like, that flavor. That's the one, because I love cherry.
Yeah.
It was like kind of like cough syrup, but at the end, like...
It was good?
For those who don't, like,
cherry.
ever like, chewed, the taste is terrible. But
really?
Then after you spit it out, you remember it being...
So good.
Like, he was like, what the hell?
I'm not going to
lie. But you put it in, it was horrible.
I'm really jonesing right now.
Well, they go golfing.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I could still do the packing thing. And remember, they were coming out with, I think we kind of were really living in the heyday. Because probably 10 years before, you either had like Copenhagen, which was one flavor, or there was like Skull Mint, straight,
mint, cherry,
and like spearmint. So there was like four flavors. Then they started getting smart and they're like apple, spearmint,
peach. They had all sorts of flavors. That's right.
And the reason why we kept buying those, do you remember? This is how fucking broke we were. They were always on sale. It was a promo.
Oh, you're
It would be like $2 off a can.
Like, you would like peel the coupon off of the can, and you would try to scan it.
We were so fucking broke. We needed to save like $1 on a can of chew. That was hilarious. And remember
we were like $1.29 for lip cancer. Sweet.
Oh yeah, we knew that. Yeah, and remember when we went to Georgia, and it was sitting out in front of the counters because in California when you order, it's all behind the counter. And they got to see your ID. They probably fucking scan it now. What do you want? You tell them. The checker's got to get it. In Georgia, they had it all out in front. So if you were ballsy, you can go up and take 10 and fucking steal it if you wanted to.
A log.
A log, yeah. Once you got someone that had a Costco membership, game over.
Yeah.
Game over
Logs.
with that.
Even Winco. Remember we used to go to Winco. We used to get the log when we were of age.
Right, because at that point, like, no one at everyone at Winco is gonna it's an odd place to buy.
I remember like when I was with you. You got like a log of Copenhagen Black.
Scold us or something?
Yeah, this gives you lip cancer, right? You're like, okay.
What are you, my fucking mom?
Yeah. You're like, okay. She's like, I'm just letting you know. I'm like, okay.
Thanks.
Appreciate that was it. I remember it was like the most awkward. I was like, oh, I'm sitting here for this one.
Yeah. Well, Chip's in this one now, so...
I'm glad I'm sitting here witness to this.
Yeah. Man, I think once we became legal, I think that's kind of when the habit really started taking off. Legal and a job. Because that's income and accessibility both freed up. So
plus,
that's,
yeah. It wasn't like the whole like fake ID or get the skinny on which place doesn't card.
Remember, that would be a thing. If word would get around school, you'd be like, fuck. And then all of a sudden they're like, damn, we just got 50 kids from Wood Creek this week, and we only got 5 last week. What happened? Is everyone IDing everybody?
Yeah. Or they would do like the word would be like, this place isn't card, and then like you're like, okay, I'm going there.
And then they would card you.
They just got popped. They just got fucking fined because they were like, oh, okay.
So I had a couple strategies, Cerny, and now we can this was a strategy as a 17-year-old chipper, and we'll analyze now as almost double that age, and we'll see if this is a good strategy.
Okay.
So my move without an ID or what I would throw in a very obvious dip in my mouth right before I went in. So I mean, like it's just fucking hanging out my lip. And I had my hat, and I think I would even bring my empty can, and I would have it like with my keys in my wallet, and then I put it like on the counter to show like, hey, I'm already doing this. And I'm like, oh, could I get the 2-pack of the Coke? And, by that time I knew the lingo. And then usually that would be good enough. And if they hit me with, oh, you got their ID, I'm like, oh, you know what? I actually don't. And they're like, oh, I can't. I'm like, okay, cool, no problem. So I like try to play it really cool. Yeah. I'll be back when I get it. Meanwhile, fucking lay down some rubber and getting the fuck out of there before they call the cops.
Okay, I like it.
That was my move.
That kind of goes with the... when
act like you've been there before.
Act like you've been there before. Like I'll scope out the beers.
Mm-hmm.
I know what they are. I'll call them out when I get there.
Yeah. Man, I had this other guy that I was friends with. He was like a grown man. He was like in his 40s, but I had met him because remember we used to go all the Rivers Cats games?
Yes, I do.
Do you remember this dude? He was like a big guy. I think his name was like John or something. But he always had huge dips in, and I was like, hey, can I bum a dip off you once? Because it was so fucking obvious. And when you're 17, you're like, oh, if I can get it.
Yes.
Remember this dude?
Yes, I do remember this dude.
And we got cool because it was like for 2 weeks, we must have went to 4 games, and I saw him every time. And then I was like, oh, man, hey, what's your number? He gave me free tickets one time. I forgot what it was. But basically,
I forget the deal. It was like...
But he gave us free tickets a lot. I don't even know why that happened. Do you remember that?
No, I remember like you had this buddy that like hooked us up. So we like drove in your rental car, your Mazda.
That's right.
Your
Mazda 3. We did
Tony.
Brody's in the fucking gravel.
Brody's in the parking lot before we got there. Went to free fucking tickets.
And
I don't.
So that dude, he lived in like Old Town, Roseville. So, maybe a 15-minute drive from my house. And I would text him, be like, hey, you're going to Costco next? Could you buy me? Or I would just buy, I started buying logs off him. He was like my supplier.
Yeah, he was.
He was my dealer.
Right.
He was my dealer. So I just had crazy access. And then at some point it was like, oh, I don't need, when I was 18, it was like, oh, I don't really need.
I got him here.
I'm like, yeah, cool. Unless he was giving me a deal, because I remember, I'm like, oh, they were $6 a can by itself, but he's like, oh yeah, I'll sell you this for $4. I'm like, what? And I didn't understand the unit economics of a 10-pack would be cheaper per can, than the retail price. I think
he was making a little bit of money off of us.
That's fine.
We're still getting it cheaper anyway. Yeah, it was a win-win.
It was everyone's happy. There was some risk that he took, but yeah, maybe I even helped him out on like a work project around his house, and he maybe just like gave me like the payment instead of $40 or whatever for like clean up his backyard. He's like, here's a log or something. Because I think that was like currency.
I do remember that.
That was currency.
That was the good old days.
Man, do you think you can get away with that shit now?
There's no way.
I don't.
There's
think
no way.
so.
There's so many. I would be paranoid just because like of all like the cameras and like I could be recorded at any moment. I have no idea.
Oh yeah, for sure. In all the
even
ID
if they're not,
stuff,
it'd be in the back of my mind.
Yeah. So how we would have to go the route of you got to find someone who's cool, who has someone who's cool that's 18 that and we tried to get that person for us. We won't name names, but they actually stood by the letter of the law, and refused to purchase underage kids chewing tobacco. And
yes.
and that shook me. I was shook up for a couple weeks because I thought for sure that'd be a good in.
Oh yeah,
But now looking back, I'm like, okay, he was probably 25 or something, right? And he's probably like, what am I doing? I can't get these kids hooked on fucking dip. I don't know exactly what they were thinking, but I was like, yeah,
they were the lamest people.
Thing.
Originally, they're the worst. What
Square.
Square. Yeah, sorry, Square. That was the name. And I look back like,
yeah. I wonder.
I get it. They were smart.
Well, we kind of also had those kids in high school. Now, we weren't big partiers in high school, you and I, on like the beer drinking scene or anything like that. We saved that for more of our 18 19, 20 to 34. Okay. And then, but there was a couple parents that everybody knew.
The current.
The current present day. Remember the couple parents that it was like, oh, if you go to so-and-so's house, the parents just let you drink, but everybody has to like,
I do remember that.
Everyone's spending the night. Like, these are the ground rules. You can drink, but it's all going to be supervised, and no one's driving. You're not going and doing dumb shit and getting fucking in trouble, but it's like all controlled. I always kind of like respected that a little bit.
Yeah. But I remember thinking like, Chip and Cern like to do dumb shit and get in trouble. So
yeah, I'm like, well, hold on. The whole
no deal.
Chip and Cern, we're always down to clown, and with the parents around, it's not, can't get reckless when
that's not our game, so we're not playing.
No, that's not. We like wide open spaces. We need to spread our wings, Cerny, and we need to sow some oats, I suppose.
So
get rowdy.
I do remember those rules, like drink, but you gotta stay. It's like, I'm not going.
Yeah.
Because I remember it was like, I'm not drinking with, like the same usual people, like, and then sleeping at some weird person's house. Like, I'm not doing that. I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah, and you don't want to. I could see I don't know how I would feel about that now.
I don't know if I can do it.
I don't know if I could allow that. But I do see now. I had a very different relationship growing up from alcohol than you did. Like, my house, I've never seen any of my parents. Well, that's not true. I have seen my mom have a couple drinks, but other than that, nothing. And to say like, I feel like Cerny, your house was normal. Like, oh, I would come over and your dad's having a beer. Like, that's a normal thing. He's not like fucking passed out drunk on the couch or your mom or whatever.
Like a boneyard, like all over.
Oh, Cerny's dad's trashed again or something. It was like, oh, very normal. Like, oh, you're watching the game. You're going to have a couple Coors Lights. No big deal. But I always thought when I was a kid, I'm like, wait, when all these kids go off to college and they go fucking bonkers because they've never really drank and gotten drunk before.
That's right.
They're going to like be super reckless because they don't know what it's like. So they're going to go crazy overboard as if, when they're 16 or depending on the kid, how responsible they are. Like, hey, if they're 17, maybe they can have a beer or have a beer every once in a while with you or try some wine or something. And that way, when they get older, they know how to use it responsibly, kind of. That's kind of my hot take. My parental hot take.
Like a little backstory. No, they'll still probably go a little overboard because that's.
Oh, of course. That's the
expected.
Name of the
game. I think, but I think that at least. No, I don't know if I will. I don't know if I could do that. Like
you're not going to host like a junior high school.
No, because I'm not going to be pinned to anything with that. I don't know what the other people.
The liability of that.
I'm not.
No, thanks.
Nope. But like internally, I've done like oh, this smells good. I'm like, go ahead and have a sip.
Yeah.
And when they have a sip, like,
I'm
like, it don't taste like a smell. Right. I promise you that right now.
I mean, beer is not. I think for most people, it's not something that you're going to take one drink of and be like, oh yeah, I want to repeat this again.
Delish. Yeah.
No. That's why you're...
Especially like the IPAs like that we drink now. No way.
Now, that's why you get in trouble and you start, I'm going to get a fucking Jaeger bomb, or I'm going to start drinking Goldschlager. Or like, cinnamon or mint schnapps. That sounds good. Or actually now, Trulies.
Oh, yeah.
Why wouldn't...
It's fresh. You're like, oh, yeah. You start slamming them.
How many Trulies do you think we would have put away at the legendary 4th of July, Cerny?
Oh.
A fucking...
Even so, currently today, I could probably put back like 8 and be like,
I'd be feeling so sick. Just because all
from the sugar, I think, sugar. But not from the...
Oh, not from the... Well, I don't know.
It's like 5%, which is like, as I look at it, if you look at it now, you're like,
Yeah.
The legendary 4th of July?
This is not an exaggeration.
We could do like a 24.
How many... Didn't we get like 90-something?
96 beers.
96 beers. Fat tires, too. So those aren't...
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a double IPA.
Fat tires and Sam Adams. That was like our...
It's not a double IPA, but it's not a fucking Coors Light. That's for sure.
No. And then I remember waking up and there was 4 beers left. I have no idea. But it wasn't just Cern. Obviously, we didn't have all of them ourselves. We'd be dead.
It was Cern and I, Tony's dad, probably Joe, I would guess. I mean, there were some people there. Joe wasn't there?
There was people there. Joe wasn't there for that one. James was there.
The details are driving us around.
Remember, he drove to the Honest Club.
That's right. So what we're trying to say is, after 92 some odd beers, the details might be a little fuzzy.
Yeah,
on how exactly it was divided up.
Going to the Honest Club, and there was like motorcycle crashes,
and then there was
titties on the screen.
That was crazy
and then,
too.
You yelled there was titties, and there was that one girl that flashed us.
Oh, that's right. Because she thought I said, "Let me see the titties" or something.
Yes.
And my wife,
me like, and she was passed out. She was passed out because she was having champagne.
Oh,
the beers. Cooks, she was drinking champagne.
Cooks champagne,
except for the beers. And we were cooks, and we were just
a
fucking
shit show.
Sloppy. I remember seeing the titty because I remember you like, dude, like you hit Tony.
Oh,
Tony hit me, like it was like a chain, like,
Oh, because I said the titties, and I'm pointing up at the TV.
Yes, but then like she said, "Do you want to see my?" I remember like, so all I remember is like the girl saying like,
but she was a
I
little.
remember her saying like, "Do you want to see my titties?" Or
was
something
she like
that.
sturdy?
She pulled her shirt up, and like Tony like grabbing my head, like, hey. And I was like, I remember going, what's going on? Like, Chipper's the man. That's all I remember. Tony saying. I was like, what?
He accidentally.
I was like, really looking at her. I was like, she's passed out. What's going on?
His wife over there napping. Was it full titty or was it just in the bra?
No, it was full. Like she like.
God bless America. No, I don't. Yeah, that seems like it'd be hard to get him back in. Too.
She had like the tube top. Remember the tube top back in the day was like
so easy to do the titty drops. That's right.
That's what I do remember.
Drop them out.
Let me see them titties. Remember I remember this is kind of what I remember. Well, we're digressing, but I remember like
it also wasn't super late, right?
Mustang.
It was like 9:30 at night or 10 maybe.
Yeah. On 4th of July, we get piled in the back of James's Mustang. Remember, we had watermelon on the back of our watermelon. Like we were throwing watermelon at each other because Call of Duty was like big, We're like frag out. Like Nardog hit me with a watermelon in the back or something. And you thought I was
during
bleeding.
4th of July?
Yeah, because I remember like James was like telling me like Chipper thought you were bleeding. He was like, like,
oh, I was worried about you.
Like, yeah, you were like holding me up or something. I was like, what are you doing? I don't know. It was some drunken nonsense.
Oh my God, that does sound like nonsense. And somehow we have all of our fingers from all those fireworks.
Oh, we did throw a lot of fireworks, like holding them like long as we could.
That was bad. Why do people do that? It seems like such a bad idea.
It was maybe the next year or 2 years later. Remember we were like lighting
your uncle's house, right?
Yes, lighting the fireworks with cigars out of our fucking mouths and like shooting them out of our hands.
And then I remember I woke up and my hand was like burnt because I kept
shooting bottle rockets.
Like the exhaust probably singed some of my arm hairs.
We were shooting Roman candles and the bottle rockets. One, we all did one. I was like, it wasn't that bad. And then like Tony said,
hold 3 together.
You don't do like 5.
And it's always
like 6 or some shit.
Everything's a fucking swing and dick contest.
Escalation. Yep.
And I specifically remember being like, when you're that age, it's like, okay, this event that's happening, whether it was this weekend or me and Cerny, it's like everyone was committed to just getting as fucked up as you possibly could. Yes. Like that was just that was the mindset of like, oh man, 4th of July, I'm just gonna get fucking ripped and tore up. That
was like the big thing.
Tore up. And now
that was back when we could recover by like noon, like the next day.
We'd take a nap, have like a Denny's or a Denny's breakfast, a Grand Slam or something, and you were back ready for a fucking
back at it. I was feeling 100%. Like today, I think I'm out for 2 days. I may be out for 2 days.
Cerny, you're enjoying a beer. You had a beer or two. And I thought, man, that does sound pretty good. Pretty tasty, like a nice hazy IPA. But I'm like, I'll be off my game in the morning. Like, I'm like.
I had 2 beers. I'm like, that's it for me.
Uh-oh.
Like before, it was like 2 beers. Like, I'm just getting started.
Right.
I could do 6 more.
It's a good base code here.
Yeah. Now I'm like, oh.
And they're getting expensive too.
Oh yeah.
So
I always look at like what's the ABV? I'm like 6.5. Okay, that's 2 beers. Like, if I get an 8,
you just need 1, and you're good to go. Good to go.
Because the hangover or the lingering side effects are.
Oh man,
they're not just like half a day. It's like 2 days, day and a half. It's like, oh fuck.
Have you? This is the last comment, and then we'll reel this bad boy back in. But have you? Yeah, famous last words of the Chip and Sir show.
We'll go for Pokemon and drinking.
Somehow, the audience has got to be
drinking while Pokemon.
Yeah, got to be just shaking. How did they get here? Honestly, I couldn't tell you how we got here, Cerny.
No.
Have you had blowfish?
Oh, I've heard of that. Yes,
Get it on Amazon. It's 2 little effervescents, and it's lemon, and you put it in 8 ounces of water, and it has like medical grade caffeine. It's the only like FDA approved kind of hangover cure, and it won't. I mean, it's not going to build you back up to 100%, but it fucking gets you right. And I preemptively have taken it too.
Oh, okay. Blowfish. That's right.
So give that a shot. It's not cheap. I want to say like a box of 12 is probably like $30. So
it's not terrible.
It's not terrible, but you're only using it. It's like, when you really need it.
Yeah. I just if you ever had too much by accident, just getting right is like, that's all you need.
That's true.
That's all I'm praying for.
Well,
when you're old, it's like 2 days of like just trying to get right.
Sounds like we're sounding like a couple addicts, Cerny.
I know.
Well, I'm sure people have their underage alcohol or cigarette or dipping stories. We'd love to see those. You can email us, and probably just like what happened to Steve, we'll probably just ignore it. So I don't blame you. Sorry, Steve.
Sorry, Steve, but we will get to you, Steve.
We will get. We'll put it in the backlog. It's in the backlog.
Want to email to us at chipandcernshow@gmail.com. Just email us. We will get back to you. Sometimes we get a little distracted with things that are going on, but We will get to you. And you can email or you can reach out to us on social media, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, anything Chip and Cern Show. We will get to you. We will.
Yeah.
It may not be in the time frame that you think, but we will always get to
you. And I will say this isn't just a slight at Steve, because we do appreciate his listenership.
Yes.
If you're going to send a link across, like include more than 5 words so we don't think it's like a phishing or a Trojan horse attack.
Yeah, it was
just be like, hey, boys, hey, guys, I found this clip, thought you would enjoy it to review it on the show.
I thought at first, I was like, this is someone fucking...
Because it said like,
my shit.
Here you go, right? And then it said like, file name MP3, and I'm like...
Now, fortunately, I actually had seen like he had reached out on Facebook first.
Okay.
So I knew, but I was still like...
It was a warm lead.
Yeah, there was a warm lead to it.
Okay.
But I was still like on my toes.
Smart. I mean, you can never be too safe when it comes to your cybersecurity, Cerny. So make sure you're using...
So I signed on my work computer, just in case.
Don't want to take the hit on the family computer. So
no.
Make sure you're using two-factor authentication, wearing your mask and wash your hands, being socially distant. Obviously, making sure those genitals are nice and clean, your penis and your vaginas and your buttholes, and your breasts as well. Go out and vote. There's not much time left, but fucking make it happen, people.
Now, quick thing. Make sure that your vote is counted.
Yes.
Because I submitted mine. I already told you that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they had reprinted mine, so I got another one. I don't know why. But I had checked. I was like, why isn't mine registering that they got it? I had checked Rick Robbins and stuff. And they had gotten theirs. Well, because they had reprinted mine, that was the barcode that they were going to go with. So
you have to resubmitted
mine, which it's now counted. But
okay,
just make sure that it's counted. That's my
that is
PSA.
true. And there's a lot of, I'm going to call it what it is, a lot of bullshit going on, mostly in red states, about trying to fuck over mostly people of color and minorities from voting
blue
because they're worried about it flipping. So they're being fucking snakes. So I don't know what to tell you about that, but go exercise your right to vote. Nothing would make double check. Make sure you got your dates right. And they're saying now, I'm seeing now as well, you don't want to put that shit in the fucking post thing. Go drop it off at your location, or there's specific places you can drop a ballot. Go there and don't put it in the post. Don't put it in the USPS. They're already overloaded because you have to make sure that if your ballot gets there the day after, they fucking throw it away or some shit.
They already got one person was dumping them. Was dumping ballots.
Yeah, it's very strange. MAGA
or something like that?
MAGA person.
Yeah,
and then also Trump voted from Florida with an absentee ballot, and from Mar-a-Lago, which apparently it has an agreement that it can't be both a resident and a private club because it's a golf course. So he essentially has potentially an illegal vote. The president of the United States, who's been saying all the Democrats are going to do is vote illegally, has himself voted illegally.
I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
Well, I'll send you some. We'll put our source in the show notes. Go check that out, chipandcernshow.com.
There you go.
And until next time, I'm Chip.
I'm Cern.
Cheers.